So you guys came in that gate down there, and I don't know if this zooms. Okay, it does. This is clips. I don't know. Anyway, you came in the gate, you came in, you parked over there. There's the arena. If you come up the driveway here, you don't have to drive up, but if once you're here, you walk up the driveway, you get to this little funky barn. And there are, on the way, there are carts there. Or you can take a cart and tools from where I will show you later in this video that it can be used also. If you're doing the whole place, you can take things from wherever. So if you want tools from here, one that you will need up here is the broom, but otherwise everything else is also down there. So again, take tools from wherever you want, but you will need this broom. So here are some tools. It is really helpful if they go back similarly, the last two being the shovel and broom. Put the handle of the shovel around this thing and then put the broom up like that, because we use those sometimes and we just want to be able to grab them quickly. So the best tools to use for the job is to always have a manure fork. This has a lot of tines. They're called the fine tines manure fork. This one has wider, fewer. Not a lot of use for this time of year. And then having one of each rake, one little rake like this red one or the one in front of this big green one. They're very small, you can use them in one hand, and one big leaf rake, which is also there. Now again, most of these tools are also down below, but the broom you will use from here and put back here. Try to put back tools where you got them from, not at a different location. And then the best way to start doing this is to come in this gate here. So this is right by the driveway here. You come in this gate, and there is sand in this paddock, and anywhere there is sand, I want you to use that manure fork that has the fine tines. So this has already been cleaned, so everything has been picked up out of the sand with that manure fork. You can use the little rake to help you scoop into that manure fork. And then here are some mats that were swept off nicely. The mats out here were swept off. She does a really thorough job, so this is super thorough. In here, definitely needs to be swept, because if the horse eats off the ground, whatever comes out of that bag and falls on the ground, I don't want him eating sand that he has tracked in. So it's funky. This is torn. Just do your best with the rake and so on to get whatever manure. So you clean up in here, out here, and then once you've done that, you come through this gate to clean out here. So I would start with this, because these horses will not be in here. They'll be out on pasture. So then this gate, you move this ring up so you can unhook that. It only comes this way, and it's awkward. Sorry, there's a railroad tie, all that. This horse wants to come in, but he won't be here, thankfully. Then you come through with your tools and your cart, and then you continue all of that through here. So same story here, 2 more stalls, more mats. If ever you're in a hurry or especially hot, or you want to pace yourself and you want to skip some of the sweeping, you can. Just make sure you do that first stall that might have sand in it. Then out here, it's just rake with the big leaf rake, get all the manure together. Try not to pick up dirt or decomposed granite. That's what this is here. So this isn't a super thorough job here, but it's okay. If I did it, I'd be raking up those bits and pieces and getting those in either the shovel or the rake. You can take a shovel as well. I liked using a shovel when I was doing it. And then out here, more mats. They get moved around. So it's just kind of the way it goes. And then you continue on out here. Everything outside, everywhere the horses are, other than where there's grass for grazing, we clean all of it. So you go all the way out there where those horses are standing, all the way out there. And then once you've done through here, you come through this gate, which is very handy because now you're going kind of downhill. And you go through this gate and down between the paddocks here. These hot lines here, when you put your hand on the handle and push towards what's making it hot, once it's down, it is not hot anymore. See, I can touch it, no big deal. The thing it's hooking into is hot all the time, and once it's hooked on, the rest of it is. So you can undo it and hook it on the gate, like here, but make sure you put it back up, or just go under it, which is what I probably usually do. But anyway, it doesn't matter as long as you put it back up. Best to hook it on the outside of the gate, actually. You're going to have that at most of the gates. So you go down this aisle here, and then when you get down there, you might, you can just take a right, and you'll go to where the dump station is. So I will show you where that is in the video in a minute. What I was going to say is there are times when there will be something kind of blocking you there, and I'll show you how to deal with that later in the video. So here we are again, where you had originally gone in. I'm going to close that in a minute. There's a muck bucket here that if it has stuff in it, if you can dump it in your cart, that would be great. So here is, okay, there's the barn. We just came from there. Then we've got this. So that barn area and this paddock are known as upper collectively. They are the two gates and entrances that are up in the upper part of the property. So we just call it upper. Anyway, here you've got the spring handle to the electro braid, the electric line. So again, push towards, undo, bring through the gate, get all that slack out, and then hook it somewhere on the gate that it'll kind of stay. Sorry, it's hard to do and video. So it'll stay off from the, it's not where the horses can get to it, and it's not looped down a bunch where they can get their neck in there or anything. Again, you can hook it back up while you're in there or leave it down. Doesn't really matter that much. And again, we've got the ring that you push, get that hook off, come through here, and now you've got all of this to clean. And it goes all the way down there to the entrance. There's probably some poop hiding in the weeds, and I know you might not get it all, and that's okay. You do not need to go where the grass area is, and the horses will be out there, but they're able to come in, so they might come bug you. And if my young horse comes and bugs you, she could intimidate you, but hopefully not. So that shelter needs to be cleaned also, and there are mats there, but you don't have to sweep them. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Just rake really well in there and pick up everything. And then all out here. So pretty self-explanatory. Everywhere that the horses go on this dry side, not where the grass is, needs to be cleaned up. Okay, so here's the dump station. And go ahead and you push the cart so that it gets to about the middle. In the middle of that wheel, stop, and then you tilt it up, and then you just push it over, all the way over, and the handle lands, or the cart lands on that post. No. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought the handle landed on. Anyway, part of the cart lands on it, and then you can kind of jiggle it back, and then put it upright, and then you just use one of these tools, either the shovel or the broom that is there, and just get whatever's on the landing pushed off, and you're aiming for the middle. So here's the green shed. There's where you came in. There's the entrance gate. Here are all the tools that are also available. There's no broom because the only place brooms are needed are where the stalls are, and there's also a broom at the other stalls you'll see later in the video. There is a hose here if you need to clean off any of the tools after, if they've got stuff stuck in them, or if you need to rinse anything off. The outhouse is right there, by the way. And then carts are stored in here, and they are just upright, kind of on their noses. So there are 3 of them normally. Abby has the middle one right now, so you can take any of those. And then you're going to be doing what we call lower, which is the rest of the paddocks down here. So you did 2 paddocks at upper, and now you've got 3 group paddocks down here and 2 private stalls. Now right now, this won't be the case when you're here because you're going to be here early, and this goes up around between 12 and 1, but these 2 lines are up because a group is out from this paddock. These are not hot anymore. They don't work. They're broken. So they're just to fool the horses into not coming out this way. So if you are here with a cart, because I'm sure there will be a day that you are, you can just lift this, get the cart to slide under, and you can step over. You can push this however you want. You can step over it, go through it, whatever. So then you've got 2 group paddocks in here. So if the horses are right here, just cluck and send energy towards them and shoo them away. Again here, same thing as that previous gate. You undo the handle, bring it out on this side of the gate, hook it on, and so on. Then you've got this paddock that way, including the shelter. Rake as thoroughly as possible. Leave as much of the stuff that's not poop behind. Then you've got this one. If the gate's open like that, just ignore it. Those horses are out grazing. Okay, there might be glitches in this video because I don't usually use clips. But anyway, it's a app that I can do ongoing video with pausing. But anyway, so here's a private stall. I just opened that gate because I thought I was rolling film. So she's turned out right now, but the gate will be closed, so we don't want Jack wandering in there. But you can come on in here, and in the sand, it's very, very important that you don't take any sand with you, that you use the manure fork with fine tines, you don't use the shovel, and you're very careful. In here, you're gonna pick up any manure. You can move hay if it's clean, which is not going to be the case in here. There won't be hay, I'm sure. But if you do find hay anywhere, if it looks clean, you can just kind of move it out of your way. And then you're going to sweep these mats too. Do not, I repeat, do not sweep the mat that's right outside here. You can't tell there's a mat here, but there is. If you at any point realize that, please don't sweep it off. Leave it covered in sand. So you'll sweep any sand back out. If there's manure mixed in, sweep it all out, then pick up the manure with the manure fork. Kind of simple. So there are two of these that are next to each other. The other gate's on the other side, so you go around the shelter to enter from that side. Okay, here where the tack room is that I showed you and where I showed you Jack each, there's also a muck bucket. If you can check that and dump it into your cart as well. Just try to make sure everything goes back with the tools behind it so Jack can't get hurt with tools. Those are tools for just us to use in the shelter here. And then your last areas, you're almost done, are here. So here we are next to the arena where the donkey is. So you'll go in here, you'll clean up all the area in here, same as the other places. Then you can go through that gate and get anything that's out in the grass. There's a horse turned out there for a few hours a day. That is one place where you can either use the shovel and use that little rake to rake into it, or the manure fork that has wider tines, not the fine tines, but the other one. And then over here, there's another turnout area. So you'll come around out here, and it's just, sorry, hope you don't get seasick. This handle is hooked onto the fence because this thing is broken. So it's hooked onto the fence, so you can either carefully go under it or unhook it and then rehook it. And if she probably won't be out here yet, so it might be hooked onto this thing that doesn't work. So then just, either go under it, or it's not hot when it's hooked onto that, or unhook it, rehook it, and just leave it there. It only needs to be on the fence when she's in here. So this goes all the way back there. Goes way back to the pasture. So you just walk back there. Most of the manure is probably back there. Clean up whatever you see and come on out. And then the only thing left that you could possibly do if you have time is go in the arena, and you'll find 4 muck buckets, 2 on each side of the arena. And if you can dump those into a cart and get rid of that poop, that would be great. But if you don't have time, it's okay.